And welcome y'all to Blacker the Berry. I am Dean. I understand. I know what you're about to say. Hold on. If this is Blacker the Berry, what are we doing missing Los? Los had a sick day, a legitimate sick day. If we had him on the airways, y'all would be like, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? He sounds crazy, but he's a soldier out here in these streets. So we salute fucking Los and we thank him, right? But since you got me here, y'all already know what time it's about to be. Y'all know what we about to do. We're about to start a little education out here, a little edumacation, all right? And effectively, I'm going to piss a lot of people off. I'm going to piss most of y'all off who will listen, maybe even some loyal listeners, maybe some new listeners who've happened to come across this. But make sure before I piss you off, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe so more people could potentially get pissed off, or maybe they won't get pissed off. I don't know. It really just depends because we live in a very, very weird time within America. Not even in only America, but I would venture to say the world, right? So now here's something that's interesting to all of us. On a worldwide basis, let's look at Ghlaisne Maxwell, right? Her, and let's also look at Epstein. I'm not going to get in crazy detail about their cases right now because that's not what this episode is about. But what you can do if you want to hear me go in depth about currently their cases, currently like the Maxwell case is going on live currently, and also the Epstein case, you can go ahead and tune in this Monday to Conversations with Dean. I'm going to get into all of that. Don't worry about it. But right now, I want to speak about the coverage of, Ghislaine's trial. Also, let's Ghislaine, whatever the fuck her name is. Should we even care what a child molester or a sex trafficker or whatever, or just or an indecent human's name is? Should we? Because I really don't give a damn. But here's the situation, and here comes the goddamn suits and the suits and nuts of it. We barely know anything about this case, even though they're giving you live play-by-plays every day. If you go to AP.com, you can go to CNN.com, Fox.com, you can go to any of these news sites, and you're able to get the play-by-play on what exactly is happening in this trial. But yet, if I look when you compare this trial, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to go here, people. Let's compare this trial coverage to Kyle Rittenhouse's coverage, right? And matter of fact, while we add that one in, why don't we add the coverage from the Ahmed Arbery case as well? Let's look at each one of these. Now, the one that got the most media coverage was Kyle Rittenhouse, and it was covered in such a way that it showed the weakness of humans. Not just Americans, not just everybody, because the situation came down to this. There were too many people, because I know people across the land, across the board. I know a whole bunch of people. There were too many people who thought Kyle Rittenhouse only had killed black people. They thought he only killed black people when he didn't kill Nair Chocolate. Did he attempt to shoot one of us? Absolutely he did, but then he got kicked or whatever the case may be. But he only killed white people. But the way, yeah, absolutely. But the way in which it was covered, right? You would just assume that he was just like out here gunning us down. Whatever your case is or whatever feelings you have about the case, I'm not going into the case. I'm talking about the coverage of it and how effectively, even when you're looking at all the evidence, like for instance, one of the dudes he fucking shot was like a fucking child, I think he was a child. He had something with children on his record, not pedophilia, something weird going on. Like even the people he went after and shot, they have some really fucking finicky records. And I do know them offhand, but I do want to double check and make sure of certain things if I put the full extent of that out there. But let's look at that for a second. We knew nothing. We knew nothing about the people he shot at all. You know what I mean? Nothing at all. They just said they were at a Black Lives Matter protest. We all learned during the Black Lives Matter protest that there were people coming there not looking to protest, but to cause hell. Were they, some people like to say that, maybe they were paid off by other individuals to come in here just to cause trouble. They always masked up. They, they don't live in the community, but they want to destroy the community. We knew nothing about these individuals. Knew a whole bunch of shit about Kyle Rittenhouse. Okay, that's cool. I'm fine with that. But the Rittenhouse trial was out there for folk. Let's look now. We're gonna go to the Ahmed Arbery, and because we're gonna end it with the Epstein and the Maxwell stuff, but not end it. But we're gonna put a cap on this. So then, when we take a crossover to the Ahmed Arbery case, right? How much coverage did that really get? People found out the verdict, but how many people, like, when you look at it live, the live coverage, was there a ton of live coverage? Was there much live coverage as they did with Kyle Rittenhouse? Now we have to start asking ourselves certain questions. Well, why is that? Well, because the Ahmed Arbery one, have you? We'll get there in a second. But let's paint the picture, right? Kyle Rittenhouse, that case has a lot of people feeling some kind of way either way. And the reason that they're feeling some kind of way is because it comes down to being able to protect property, friends' properties, whatever the fuck it is. I know what people are going to say is that, oh, he came across state lines. He went there with the fucking intention. I'm not going to debate that. But what I'm going to state is something like this. Let's put it in the reverse, right? Y'all know Los is my mans, right? So let's say Los opens up a goddamn clothing spot, right? Because I know he's really into fashion. Open up a fashion spot, he got that shit. All hell breaks loose over there. He calls me because he know what time it is. He like, yo, could you help come down? They're supposed to be fucking rioting, loot, like it's supposed to be getting fucking nuts over here. Could you possibly help me come down, hold down security? Okay, no doubt. I'm gonna be down there with you. There's gonna be a few of us, of course. All right. I'm gonna do what I gotta do for security. I'm gonna come with my shit because I'm legal. Some shit breaks down. I'm protecting Los's shit. Right? What, you know what I mean? Like, that is where some people come down to. I know what some naysayers are gonna say when they listen to that. Well, Dean, the issue is that he didn't go down there to help anybody. He was allegedly supposed to be like, helping out this goddamn car lot, and then also supposed to be doing EMS, giving medical emergencies and shit like that. We understand that, but then also it turns into this. I understand what you're stating, but I'm just telling you why, besides just on the cover surface racism that some people are gonna fucking cling to regardless. But then when you start talking to fucking level-headed people who don't look like you, and when you start trying to figure out what is it, why would you? And then you start getting this, it's like, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting because it does cause more fucking tension between folks. Now you look at Ahmed Arbery. I don't know much of anybody who really was like, especially when it came down time for the case after all the facts have coming out. Even during the case, everybody was kind of like, yeah, no, them three have to go get arrested because they were out there patrolling something that didn't need to be patrolled. You understand what I'm saying? They were just out there just fucking doing shit. Now listen, oh, sorry, my fucking headphones went a little crazy right there for a second, so it kind of threw me off. I never knew how before, you could be doing recording and then people would be like, you see them start fucking with their headsets. They're like, I can't really talk. There you go. But all right, now we're back on it. So now, I don't know anybody who has talked about the Ahmed Arbery stuff and basically said that them gentlemen were in the right. Everyone unanimously agrees that they needed to be arrested. Didn't get that much coverage. Got a little coverage. Got, it definitely made sure that the verdict was out there, but it wasn't, or is the conversation the coverage, or is it the digestion of the coverage from the people? We'll get there in a second. Don't worry. I'm painting for you, baby. I'm painting. I know this is Black of the Berry, but we're going to spring a little conversation with Dean on in here. I'm taking you on a journey. Come sit under the learning tree. Because here is where the learning tree really starts to blossom and bloom. When you start to look at not only Epstein, but the Maxwell cases, right? Yeah. Epstein, the fella who killed himself in a jail cell in a way that no one agrees that he did actually kill himself, but yet we, the public, have accepted that. You see what we've accepted it. We're okay. The fact that they told us that, he killed himself, even though you have had multiple people say, no, there's no way that he absolutely did kill himself. And then when you even look at security falling asleep, it's like, really? Oh, this time block that he killed himself. Only the security fall asleep. You lose cameras, all other kind of shit is going on. I'm confused, baby. But we the public, we took that. We said, okay, that's fine. That's fine. You are right. Mainstream media, who we hate one minute, love the next, as long as they're agreeing with whatever we happen to be wanting to be agreed upon. Yeah. Like I said, maybe put some people off. We ain't even get there yet. I'm still painting. Let me take a sip. I have to collect my thoughts on this, because the old dean would want to come out here and curse each and every one of y'all out, tell you how stupid you are and how stupid that, like, listen. Let's look at Maxwell, and let's look at that. We all hear immediately, Epstein dies, case is gone, all that goes basically to the wayside. Now everything's going to go turn their eyes right onto Maxwell, right? When we hear that, the jokes immediately come saying, oh, Maxwell's going to kill herself. What's going to happen here? You're hearing reports about her trying to her allegedly going crazy in jail. She's not washing. She's not fucking flushing her toilet. She's not in a good mental space. They're making her look crazy to the rest of us right now, right? Which none of us, we're all just like, okay, I guess that happens to criminals, right? If you go to jail and you're not built for it, you may break down, I guess, certain shit may happen, or I guess, hey, listen, maybe certain people are thinking that's just how white people deal with certain things, especially ones who come from an affluent background. I'm not here to debate you or say yes, no, maybe so on either one of those. No. What I'm here to state is that none of us looked at all of this coverage on everything, and just questioned how it was being covered, why it was being covered in the way it was. That's something that none of us have done when it comes to anything. You see what I'm saying? Oh, I do have a producer in my ear. We got some new stuff going on, but I have a producer in my ear, and the producer asked me, where was the coverage in regards to Maxwell or Epstein? I will say this in regards to Maxwell, coverage is happening right now live. If you go to, like I said, if you go to websites, matter of fact, here we go. Here's one right here. Let's go ahead and see if we can go ahead and find a live coverage. So we have one from the independent.com. I'm going to go ahead and share this article, right? Because this is going to go back to it. And then you know what? Before I even get to sharing that, the producer put something in my ear, and this is why it's great that we have fucking Black and Berry is fucking investing to intern. We can't talk about who the intern is, but fucking we're doing things for you in season 4. We told you we're giving you something new, baby. But the producer just put into my ear, well, what about the judge? I know a lot of people are talking about, well, what judge are you talking about? We're talking about the judge that was originally going to be covering the Epstein trial. Now, here's what happened, people. When this judge said, no, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to be the judge of this. I don't give a damn. We're going to do what it's got to do. They went after her, and then they tried to kill her, but they didn't kill her. They killed her son, and then they shot her husband trying to get her. And then they literally, the individual who did it, they tied him loosely. They tied him to some bullshit issues that he had with her in regards to maybe I think child's rights, women's rights, or like he had some kind of gripe with her in one of those two fields. And it's a shame that me, someone who tries to make sure that I can consume and know this shit, doesn't know which one it was off the top of my head. Even I am susceptible to this shit. And no offense, if I'm susceptible to it and I'm fighting it, the rest of you don't got a fucking chance because you have no idea what the fuck you're looking for. Now, back to regular scheduled programming. Did any of us, besides maybe Black and Berry and maybe some other channels, because Black and Berry did bug the fuck out, none of us bugged the fuck out the fact that, hey, this judge gets fucking shot after she's covering this high profile case that allegedly has all these high profile individuals linked to it in Congress, in Senate, across the seas. You got fucking Prince Andrew is in this shit. The Queen's kid. None of us was like, at the minute, listen, when the shooting first happened, everybody was like, oh, you see what they doing? You see what they doing? You see what they doing? The regular people was, Hollywood was real quiet in the streets. Hollywood wasn't saying nothing about this shit. You barely hear anybody in Hollywood talking about that Epstein shit. I don't hear none of them talk show hosts making no jokes about it. I don't hear none of these fucking punk ass comedians making any goddamn jokes about it. I don't see no Saturday Night Live doing a skit about it. I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing out here in these streets. It's real quiet. And you know who else it was quiet for? Us, the people. We said nothing about this. We were cool with it. The minute they came out and said, oh, the reason that this guy decided to shoot the judge and her attempt to shoot a judge, but killed her family was because of some other bullshit issues. I'm not saying bullshit issues to minimize whatever the issue was, because I don't remember off the top of my head, but I will tell you this, is that every fucking day a judge ruins someone else's day. But for somehow, some way, the coincidence was that the motherfucker who was gonna goddamn preside over Epstein, potentially putting certain people in jail. And what happened was, I guarantee you, I don't know this. I'm just painting a picture for you. People went to her back channels, was like, yo, listen, you know what time it is, whatever, you do this, we can do this. And she probably was like, you got me fucked up. I got into this shit for a reason. I'm not scared of you. Then they said, okay, bet. And then whatever happened. She no longer presided, she still presided over the case, but then he died. The rest of us were okay with it. The minute they said that it was the other pedestrian issue that happened prior, we were all right with the fact that this judge who could have potentially changed the world with how she presided over a case, how everything was just swept under the rug. See, we the people, right? It, especially as Americans, we the people. It's ridiculous. Because we say we care about our lives. We say we want to fight the institution. We say that we do not want to continue to allow this way of life to continue. But when I look around to my left, it's going to be my right now to me, but to you it will be the left. When I look to my right, and then when I look to my left, I see a whole bunch of bitch assness. Yeah. And this is what I mean. It's bitch assness in the sense of you let the media allow you to vote in Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and I haven't seen a hot piece of damn of anything that they have done. And then it's directly to Black America. And one of them, Kamala Harris, is the VP, but she is an AKA. Does anybody know what an AKA is? They are a part of the Divine Nine organization. What is the Divine Nine organization? They are the 9 fraternities and sororities that were founded by Black men and women. And historically, Black colleges and institutions. What have they done for us? Or matter of fact, Black people, what have you done for yourself when you voted them in office? Would we have even put them in office if we really believed that Joe Biden cared for us? His track record always said one thing, but he would say another. Did we not remember the reason that Obama even put him on the ticket? We're not going to go into that, but what I'm saying is that you continue every 2 to 4 years, you allow the media to sell you a fucking ocean in the middle of Idaho. They say the Pacific Ocean is in fucking Idaho. We got land for fucking $20 an acre. So you buy ocean land for $20 an acre in Idaho every 2 to 4 years because they tell it to you. They whip it up in such a way that they suck you and all your punk ass friends in. All of you motherfuckers be sitting there drinking this fucking punk ass Kool-Aid. Anybody who says they don't believe in it, you look at them like they're crazy and you're ostracizing them, kicking them out, moving them. Look at the fucking coronavirus. Vaccinated or unvaccinated, we are seeing things online that people on both sides of the fence are fucking basically going for, hey, you got to shoot the other. What? Really? This is what we have allowed these people to do to us? There are individuals, and this is this is on the coronavirus thing, right? I'll use this as another example of how you're allowing the media to twist you around. We all now have enough information on COVID to know that if you get COVID, right, it's no reason for you to go ahead and get a test. According to science that we all agree on right now, don't get another test after you done got it, because even after 10 days of you recording have it positive tests. You go for 10 days, even if you count to where your symptoms are. You go for 10 days. After those 10 days, you have basically 90-something days of if you take a test, you will test positive. Yet, you will still have individuals that will get mad that, oh my God, this person caught COVID, have the antibodies. They're fucking kicking ass according to our science. Like, they have the best immune system. They're mad that this person's walking around with no mask, or even they do have a mask, they got to go somewhere. They take a test, they test positive, everybody freaks out. What is the science? Like, are you believing science, or are you listening to what they're telling you? Come on here, people. When we had Donald Trump in office, no one wanted to touch the vaccine. No one. It was terrible. It was bad. Oh, y'all crazy if you get it. But Joseph Biden gets in office, and y'all want to run to get it? The question becomes, why? Why? What's the reason, people? Like, come, you have to listen, baby. This is, you know what? I'm gonna change my name. Because I think my name right now may make some of you feel some kind of way, right? So I'm gonna change my name to Uncle Dean. Because I want you to know that this is a safe space. This is a space that is all inclusive of non-bitch assness. I want you to talk to me. Why would you let the media spin you in circles like this? Why would you allow the media to have you question if you can have a Christmas or a Thanksgiving, or if you can go see your mother, your father, and like, what is going on, people? Why? And they continue to do it, and none of us check it. Now, don't get me wrong. Something did happen. Something happened that has been under the radar, though. And it's only if you really look at the, like, you know, if you look at both sides of the news, if you look at both sides of the news, or if you look at the right, or like me, you look at all news, because the right and the left, they're both fucking wrong all the time. The middle sometimes wrong too. You just got to literally do your own research. But Chris Cuomo got suspended indefinitely because he used a source to assist his brother in trying to figure out who was out here snitching on him, because his brother couldn't keep his hands, his tongue, and everything else to himself. CNN suspended him indefinitely. Why is this not a bigger issue? Why is the fact that his lack of journalistic integrity is not a bigger issue? I don't give a fuck the fact that you know, he's on a liberal station. This is a journalist having a complete lack of journalistic integrity, that we're just like, oh, okay, like, it was like, I get it, it was his brother that he did this with, so some of us can identify with that portion of it. But let's call it. But this speaks to the bigger issue with the media, because if he'll help his brother, why won't he help his man's? And if he won't help his man's, then why won't he help somebody who's lining his pockets? Why won't he listen to why won't his bosses be the one to tell him, hey, listen, this is what we're trying to push? Can someone else explain something else to me? Why is it because remember when we were growing up as children, right? When we grew up as children, the news was the news. You just listened to it and you got it. Don't get me wrong. I love me some Brenda Blackman from UPN 9 News, because she was like a sister. But Brenda still gave you the news. She gave it to you in a monotone black way. Would seem like more sass because she was around other people, but Brenda Blackman was still like, she was a professional, right? We've ever since, and I forget the particular law. And listen, y'all know Dean usually good with this one, but I'm coming off the cuff right now. But there was the law that allowed the American government to fucking allow propaganda to go against his people. So the minute that was passed, we started getting a lot of sensationalized news. Before, everyone was just saying, remember when the news guy would just sit there and give you your news? Or remember when they didn't have personalities? Well, shit, the minute that they allowed propaganda to be used against us by our own government, it started getting real funny how the news started getting weird, right? Do we not remember that the news media is run by 3 fucking companies? All of your news are subsidies of these. Even your local news is a subsidy of one of them big boys. Talk to me, y'all. We all know this, because if I'll get in a smoking circle, if I sit there and have a drink with someone, if I even sit there at work, I can have these conversations with people and everyone agrees. But then in the next minute, I will see people fall immediately into their party lines. Not facts, not life, not right, not wrong, but your gang symbols. you're red, you're blue. Make it make sense to me. You can't. You want to know why you can't? The reason you can't is because you've allowed yourself to become lazy. You've allowed it to be acceptable for individuals to lie to you. And you've allowed yourself not to even go back and try to cross-reference anything. You won't even look at one tweet before you retweet the shit to make sure the shit you're saying is right. And you won't even give that a quick Google. Listen, I'm sick of hearing about what people don't like. I'm sick of hearing the issues that are going on. I'm sick of hearing motherfuckers have a problem, but they don't come with a solution. I'm sick of hearing somebody even say, you know what, maybe six of us need to get together and have a think tank. Let me tell you something here, people. Do you know something that I just recently did? Because I've been upstate resident for a while, but like some millennials, you kept going back and forth, from down south, whatever the case may be. But it's like some millennials, you keep all your shit with your parents for the longest time ever. I don't know why. You just I was living on my own, paying rent up here, but then everything was still down there. And you know what I sat back and realized? Because there was some shit going on up here that was starting to remind me of downstate. And I was like, I got to make sure that I get my voter registration, everything up here. Make sure I change my license. Make sure I make it an official resident up here. And you may want to ask yourself why. The reason I did that is because I'm going to make sure that who I'm voting for and I'm going to get active. I'm going to make sure I can directly affect this community. Because see, before, like I said before, doing the whole thing, you're just like, oh, you're just being a fucking millennial. But now motherfucker 30 is like, all right, I guess, I live upstate. It is what it is. But now, and really, I started seeing shit that I didn't like. So I'm going to make sure that I can have a direct impact on it. Let it be with voting, let it be in going to a town hall, town council, maybe volunteering, whatever the case may be. But I'm going to have solutions. What are your solutions to your problems? People listening. What are your solutions? What are you going to do? Instead of sitting there complaining in your group chats. What are you going to do? Instead of going home and complaining to your girlfriend or your boyfriend about some shit about what happened. What the fuck are you going to do to fix it? What's up? None of us are perfect, but if you keep complaining about something, you got to go ahead and do it. See, the issue is that most people in this society, y'all are nothing but all talk. And that's why y'all don't really fuck with us. You should like, share, and subscribe this. You should make sure everybody hear this. But y'all don't really fuck with Ghlaisne Arbery because we be making sure you motherfuckers understand what it is. We keep you on the motherfucking square. We keep you on your points, baby. Because we just want to know one thing. And we're just trying to figure it out. Why will you continue to allow yourself to fall for these individuals who sell you nothing but lies? They are like the worst pimps in the world. Literally. They're pimping us for nothing. They got you thinking what they want for nothing, like for their gain. We get nothing from this. What they've realized from a psychology standpoint. See, us humans, the mammals in us, we are very community-like. We don't like being excluded from the community. So what do? Let's make sure that these individuals aren't paying attention to Ghlaisne Maxwell. Let's make sure they're not paying attention to Epstein, because these are going to incriminate a lot of us at the top in a way that we won't be able to get around it. Let's continue to drive division. Let's continue to make it in a way that it is always whites versus blacks, Republicans versus Democrats, immigrants versus non-immigrants. Let's make sure we continue to always have some kind of division within the country, so they don't look at who's causing the issues. Because you know what I find real funny? You know these Democrats who were mad at Trump about immigration? Most of his fucking policies were not overturned under Biden. They're fucking still there, and you're fucking stupid. So is Biden racist? Is fucking Kamala racist? Because I guarantee you, those fucking cages still there. It's still there. Oh, remember that picture that went out with the goddamn fucking the goddamn you had the patrol officer on a horse, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is racist," whatever like that. First of all, if you look at the full picture, it wasn't racist. This is something that they do. They are on horses. They do have that fucking stupid lasso, and this is what the shit that they do to certain people because they don't want to shoot them. It may look a little crazy, but this is crazy. I'm talking about in Texas. Shit in Texas. But we're okay with that, right? Because it's happening on the Biden, the Democrat, the non-racist one. And this is something to black people. Once again, I'll ask, what have these fuckers done for us lately? Why do I look in most of these failing communities, they're fucking Democrat-run communities? What the fuck is going? Answer me that question. The Republicans are flourishing, the Democrats are failing. What you're going to say, oh, because most Democrat communities have a lot of people of color, yada, yada, yada. Well, what are the fucking Democrats you have in office doing to fix your community? What are they doing to fix your housing situation? What are they doing to make sure that the policing isn't getting overextended? What are they doing to make sure that the education in your communities are actually producing productive members of society? Who's talking about healthcare within our communities? Why are we not talking about the water within the community? Because guess what? Flint does not have clean water, but we don't give a damn. Matter of fact, did you know that there are fucking counties within America that have water worse than Flint? And did you know something else? That our water within America is actually getting worse on a whole. But we don't want to talk about that. We don't talk about none of that. Because you know what? It's not cute and sexy for you motherfuckers unless somebody on CNN, Fox, or whatever the fuck tells you. You can't look at shit yourself and say, you know what? I got a problem with that. We need to fix that. I'm going to look more into that. Nothing. But that's okay. Because some of y'all loyal soldiers, you tune in every Thursday for one reason. Because you know Los and Dean going to give you something. And while Los wasn't on the screen, Dean and Los still gave you everything you fucking needed. I want you to like, share, and subscribe this whole motherfucker. Send it to everyone in your contacts because they need to know it. Not because I want you to help us. No, this is one that the people need to hear. You need to understand how you're being played. You need to understand how you're being turned against your neighbor on some fallacy bullshit that the people turning you against your neighbor don't even believe. Listen, a lot of the world is like an 8. Matter of fact, no, what? Not an 8. We'll use the 9, for instance. The 9 or a 6. Your point of view is a 6. My point of view is a 9. The issue is that you have to learn and be able to walk around the whole 360 view of it, to see it from all angles, to then make your decision, to then move forward. Start doing that shit, and I guarantee you we'll start moving forward better, and we'll do what we need to do as a people. But if you don't, especially black people, you're going to be back in the same situation, and I'm going to hear you talking that same bullshit about, oh, if you vote for the Republican, you're racist. Vote for the Democrat, you're not. Well, guess what? I'm starting to think if you vote for the Democrat, you're a fucking asshole racist. You vote for the Republican, you're an asshole racist. Tell me their policies. I don't want to know their party. Same with you. Don't sit there asking and talking to people, well, what is your party? What is their fucking heart? What is their worth? They may tell you they make right turns, but in their actions, they only make lefts. So what is that? A left hand. Listen here, people. I'm going to end it on that note because I want you to sit back and think about everything. Think about life. Think about the world and think about how they're selling you what everything is supposed to be. And then I want you to go out and see if it's really that way. Like I said, you make sure you go ahead and listen to Conversation with Dean on Monday. I'm going to get more in depth on the Maxwell as well as what happened with the Epstein trial. Don't you worry about that one. But in the interim, in the meantime, you make sure you live each and every day and you are looking, you are listening, and you are reading between the lines, not only just reading it, between the lines of anything and everything somebody wants the fuck you to do, wants you to do. If somebody tells you to go right, you should make sure you know why you should go right or why you should not go right. Don't just listen, like do your own research. And then when you do your own research, you come to the conclusion, like, okay, you know what? I'm okay with this. And now I'm going to go into this and I'll let this person lead me for a little bit while I'm trying to figure certain things out. But from what I know right now, I'm cool with it. That's different. But do some kind of fucking research. So meanwhile, I'm research. This has been Black of the Berry. I am Dean. Los may not be here, but you know what time it is. I would usually be saying this to Madman Los. Listen, we both appreciate you for stopping by, spending your time here. And once again, I'm going to ask you if you can like, share, subscribe this. Not for me, not for Los, not even for the channel, but literally for fucking humanity. They need it. And yeah, may I be a little conceited saying that because it's coming from me and it's my words? Yes. But guess what? Because you know what I believe when I say? Make sure you G-checking me on my shit. If I'm wrong, make sure you say it in the comments. Instagram at TheBerryGang1. On Twitter at TheBerryGang1. You can even comment under this video on the YouTube machine. Whatever you want to do. I stand by mine. Black and the Berry stands by hers. Peace, love, and chicken, baby. I'm out.